Yes. How we doing, man? What you saying? You have a good New Year's, yeah? Or you sitting around waiting for me to go live, man? Nah. Throwing your cousin under the bus time. Man started vaping, you know. You know what I mean? Stepped it up a little bit. It's a nice strawberry flavour. Yes, Dale Cooper, you the money man of the family now, Tyan. Let me tell you something, yeah? You know this guy here? This guy, he's from my area, and it's my cousin, Jermaine Pennant. And he's gone bankrupt. Ex-Arsenal player Jermaine Pennant is declared bankrupt with debts of over £1 million. Just months after the celebrity Big Brother star's abandoned 3 million home was taken over by drugs, etc. Yeah. This vape's so nice, you know. But you know this guy, it's like the tables have turned, because when he got signed by Arsenal for £2 million, yeah, I was broke, and he was like the popular guy, you know, because he got signed by Arsenal. He was in the papers. This is before social media, innit? So if he was in the paper, you know, he was fucking a somebody. So he was in the paper. There was this girl in the area who was like really nice. She was about 16, and Jermaine was fucking her, innit? You know, because he was like the big name, you know, the celebrity, you know, getting signed by Arsenal for £2 million. So he used to go into this girl's house and fuck her. And I was like horny and desperate and broke and struggling sexually. So I used to envy Jermaine. And he was getting £2 grand a week, you know, when he got signed by Arsenal. But that was as a 15-year-old. As he got older, as he got to 18, his wages would have gone up. And I was broke, I was struggling sexually. Now he's gone bankrupt and he owes £1 million. I've got that. So it's like the tables have turned, man. So I want to see what happens to him now. I want to see if, like, you know, these women that he's with, I want to see if they're going to, like, get rid of him, and, you know, his little rich mates, Jermaine Genius. I want to know if they're going to, like, fuck him off. You know, now he's not part of that rich club. I want to see what happens, man. I want to see if he comes back to Nottingham, because he left, didn't he? He went to London when he got the Arsenal deal, and he kind of fucked loads of people off. So I want to see now if he ends up broke and on drugs like his dad. You know, that was in the paper, innit? I want to see if he's going to come back to Notts, you know, and try and beg his old friends, you know, to be friends with him. It's an interesting story, innit? 8 hours this time, mate. Let's go. Come on, let's do it, man. No pressure. No pressure. Thanks for the super chat, Jack Chapman. Apply to go on Big Brother on ITV, lol. Yep. My advisor, Al Ayman, you know, suggested that I go on Big Brother. So we're going to give it a go. Is Jermaine bankrupt because he took your crypto advice? Sorry about that. I owe you lot an apology, you know, you people who bought into crypto, because I was really promoting it, you know, shilling it. And I know it crashed, you know, shortly after I started really plugging it and promoting it. But that wasn't my aim, you know what I mean? And I've been buying crypto, you know, the crash. I've been buying it while it's cheap and it's on offer and it's reduced. I've still been buying in, but I just don't talk about it, because I don't want to influence people to end up fucking bankrupt like Jermaine. You haven't even got 25 grand in the bank. Like, why would you say that? What makes you think that? What makes you say? You don't even think it. You're just saying it to try and diss me out of envy. Like, why are you saying that? Like, come on, man. You seen these people like Hex Toys giving me 450 quid, you know, in a live stream. True Geordie giving me 100 quid. I've sold thousands of pounds of merch. So I don't know why you're trying to hate on me about 25 grand. Top G, yeah man. Andrew Tate, man. He got arrested. We don't really know the ins and outs, do we? We don't know the... But he kind of predicted it, didn't he, Andrew Tate? He said the fucking Matrix. First they're going to shut him down on social media, which they did. Then they're going to try and lock him up. And if he continues, he's going to fucking get murdered. That's why I'm kind of like a bit wary, you know, about going into that field. I know he fucking talks a lot of sense. He tries to empower men. He tells them to get the bag. He encouraged me, you know, to get that money. And yeah, things have improved since, you know, taking Andrew Tate's advice. So that's what he tries to do, you know, uplift men. But they want to keep that pyramid structure, don't they? You know, where there's only a few at the top and most people are at the bottom of the pyramid. You know, the capitalist pyramid. You want most people to be stuck in shit dead-end jobs in factories or cleaning toilets, you know, just down and out, struggling sexually, depressed. So I like Andrew Tate, man. He used to spread good messages. He still does, man. You don't approve of vapes. The size game. Thanks for the super chat, yeah? Hi, Tyan. You look cute tonight. No, I'm not reading any more of that. You know, I've been dissing Coogan over the years. I might start doing it with footballers. You know, like Jermaine Pennant. You know, Ryan Giggs banging his brother's wife. That's a good story in it, and it's like more mainstream. Most people don't know Coogan, man, so it's just dead. But I've had a good time dissing Coogan, man, over the years, so I'm going to continue. He made Johnny Nelson cry, didn't he? Did you see that little video? Coogan, he tries to ask like questions, you know, trying to get his interviewees emotional. He did it with Darren Barker as well. He started asking him like, you know, about his dead brother and that. And Darren, he was getting a bit sad, and Darren said, sorry about this, I'm going to try and cheer up and make it a bit more positive. And Coogan was like, no, continue. So Coogan wanted Darren Barker to cry, you know, like Johnny Nelson. He gets off on it, Coogan, man. Yes, free Top G, be safe. I know. He's really helped me out, you know, Andrew Tate. He's given me some good advice, and it's paid off. Official coach Danny, 4 AM. Here we come. Yep. We're back. I think my last live stream was Christmas Day, wasn't it? We had a good time. And I felt guilty, you know, about not going to my mum's for Christmas dinner. You know, after all the good times that she's given me over the years, buying me fucking wrestling figures. And I didn't turn up, so I went to see her on New Year's Eve, yeah? A few days ago. Me and my mum sat down and we was drinking and smoking weed, and we was just having like a proper heart-to-heart. And she told me that she was a bit like disappointed in me and my brother. You know, because we haven't got careers. But my mum's old, innit? So it's like she don't understand the YouTube hustle, man. She don't understand that Hex Toys gave me £450, you know, in super chats and True Geordie. So she's old, innit? So she don't look at this as a career. But that's what KSI's mum said to him, you know, when he fucked up in school and fucked up his A-levels. KSI said that his mum and dad were going mental. Same with Mr. Beast. You know, the biggest YouTuber out there, Mr. Beast. His mum started kicking off when he was like really into the YouTube. But then when he started to make money, yeah, she turned around and started to appreciate the YouTube hustle. So I said to my mum, yeah, I'm taking over your mortgage. Because she said to me, when we was having a heart-to-heart, my mum said to me, I was about to send you and your brother a long message, yeah, saying you're not getting my house because you haven't contributed to it at all. You haven't got careers. You know, you're fucked up in life, so why should I give you a house that you haven't earned? So I said, all right then, I'll pay your mortgage. £50 a week. I'll pay it. And she's like, no, don't be silly. And it's like, what the fuck do you want? You're saying you're going to send me a long message because you're disappointed that I haven't contributed to your mortgage, yeah? So I don't deserve the house. Then when I offer to pay, you're saying no. Like, make your fucking mind up, man. Was Jermaine's dad the uncle who died in the river? No, that one is dad. That one is dad. That was like his distant uncle. That was my first uncle, and it was my dad's brother who burgled a house, tried to run away from the police, jumped into the river to swim to the other side to get away, but he drowned. Your mum sounds lovely, Tyan. You know what me and my mum were talking about as well? There's like a little pedo, you know, in our family. And certain people knew about him, but they didn't raise the alarm and let everyone else know. So people were bringing their kids, you know, to the family house, not knowing that there's a fucking potential pedo, you know, in the family. So I was kind of like having a go at my mum, you know, New Year's Eve when we had a heart-to-heart. I was like kind of dissing her, saying it's stupid. You should have raised the alarm. You know, to be safe. Any kind of pervertedness in your family from a family member, you have to like raise the alarm to everyone because they might have kids in it. If you have millions, then why work at Boots? I ain't worked at Boots for ages, man. What are you talking? I quit, man. I told you it's not worthwhile travelling all the way to Knots to fucking work at Boots for 5 hours and get 50 quid. When I can make more than that, you know, sitting down, just talking bullshit on these lives. And I enjoy these more than working in Boots. I had to like bend over, pick things up. I had to keep bending over. I was getting a bit lightheaded. I was getting a bit dizzy. You seen the Ben versus Davis beef online? The druggie versus the domestic abuser. Let's get it on. Yeah, they have been having a bit of a backwards and forwards. Connor Bum and fucking, oh, what's he called? It's not O'Hara Davis, is it? It's Javante Davis. He got arrested for smacking up his baby mama. But anytime I hear that, yeah, that a man's beat up a woman, I don't think, oh, what a scumbag. Because I've had women in the past, you know, trying to fucking attack me unjustly. A few women on a few different occasions attacked me unjustly. And I had to lay them out, man. Women want equality, don't they? So if they start on a man, you can't say, oh, we want to be equal. I want to earn the same as men. I want to be able to vote. I want to be able to drive. I want to be able to go on holiday. Have a passport. You know what I mean? But I want to fucking be able to hit a man and not get hit back. And I want the man to pay for the food and fucking protect me. You know, if someone tries it on with me and risk your life, you know, to protect me. You can't fucking pick and choose when you want equality, man. And I said this years ago. You know, when I got interviewed by Kruger about 10 years ago, before anyone had heard of Andrew Tate. So I'm not trying to jump on the bandwagon. I've been saying this shit for time. Yankee Zulu, thanks for the super chat. Is anyone in your family not a criminal, Ty? Ha ha ha. That's a good question, you know. The only people in my family who aren't criminals, yeah, are my gay uncles. That's why it's hard for me to have a go at, you know, fruity men. Because, like, the only people in my family who are like, well, my gay uncles were just like mommy's boys. You know what I mean? They had little jobs. They just stayed away from crime. But I've got a few pedo uncles. I've got an uncle who burgled a house, tried to jump in the river to get away and died. When I had a heart-to-heart with my mum as well, my mum told me that, you know, when she met my dad, my mum was 13 years old, my dad was 17 years old. What do you think of that? So my dad was 17, yeah? My mum was 13. You get pubic, you know, when you get to 13. So I don't know if it was too young. I don't know. It's a bit dodgy, isn't it, boss? I don't know. Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong, man. Do you get along with your uncles? What, my gay uncles or my straight uncles? I like the gay ones the best. You know what I mean? No homo, but I like them the best, the gay ones. Because they kept their fruity activities to themselves. They didn't, you know what I mean? I've been watching Rumble. I've been watching Andrew Tate on Rumble, yeah. And like anything goes on Rumble. You know, the F word that rhymes with maggot. You can say that freely on Rumble, you know. So I might have to go over to that site as well and stream on there. I forgot to read this super chat. Yes, Ebenezer, good. Thanks for the £10 super chat, yeah? I know a Mong who has 200k, has Asperger's, pushes trolleys at Asda, but lives with his mum, and she makes him packed lunch, etc. Has no ability to enjoy anything, so doesn't spend his money, winds me up. I know a Mong. I know a Mong who has 200k, has Asperger's. Why ain't this it's on the page, it's on the you can see that comment, yeah. Do you know what it is though? It's like Britney Spears, isn't it? She had a load of cash, but her dad kind of took the money. The courts gave Britney Spears' dad, you know, ownership of her money because she was a bit fucked up. And I've started following her on Instagram. She's acting a bit mad. So this guy with Asperger's, you know, this Mong. Yes, it's good to be back, man. I think the last live was about a week ago, wasn't it? It was Christmas Day, so. Did you have a good New Year's Eve? You know, when I was talking to my mum, she was like talking about other men in the family, you know, who have done well. And it's like she was trying to diss me. Saying, oh, this guy looks after his kids, this guy goes to work, this guy's got a career, this guy this and that. But it's like she was having a little sly dig at me. Are you close to Pennant? Do you care he's bankrupt? No. Because like I say, when he got signed by Arsenal and Liverpool and fucking all these top teams, like he didn't really come back, you know, to Notts and kind of show that love. But that's what my mum's saying about me though, you know, like I haven't helped her out, so that's my own mum. If I can't do that for her, which I've started doing now because I've took on a mortgage, but you know what I mean, I'm nearly 40 now, so you know, to do it at this age. But what it is, doing these videos, I did them for years, you know, without getting paid. So I had to fucking take a little financial L, you know, early on in these videos. Tyan, is it true you were 60% against Eubank Jr.? Tyan, is it true you were 60% against Eubank Jr.? 60%. There's a saying in boxing, like, it's not about what you do for, it's not about what you've done for the past 6 months. It's about what you've done for the past 6 years. So if you train hard for 2 months, and then you go out getting drunk, you know, fucking about, and staying up late, messing around, like, it's going to affect you, and it did. You know, when I got in there with Eubank, Jermaine played in a Champions League final. That's the problem though, when you've reached those heights, and you've had that money and you've had that pussy, and then it gets taken away from you because you're bankrupt. It's hard to like step down. It'll be hard. You see that nice woman that Jermaine's with there? He split up with her. She's called Alice Goodwin. And they split up in it. I don't know if that's because of the funds starting to diminish, you know, from Jermaine. But it's going to be hard for him to go and fuck some fat bitch. Some fat pig. You know, after banging women like that Alice Goodwin. It's like Andrew Tate, he's in prison, innit? So he's going to be struggling eating fucking porridge. Tyan, is boxing's Alan Partridge, both legends, yeah. Why am I saying yeah like I am? Is this legendary stuff? We have a good time, man. Jermaine used to be in Lace Market partying with us as students in 2005. So Lace Market is a part of Nottingham, yeah, it's in the city. You know what I mean? So he's saying he was partying there, Jermaine. He was living life. So if he ends up broke, fucking on heroin like his dad was, it's going to be hard to fucking deal with for him. But I'm trying not to diss him too much, you know, because I want to do a little podcast with him. You know, my advisor, Al Ayman, he's booked a studio in London, you know, for me to interview people, and I had Jermaine Pennant in mind. But I don't know if I've crossed the line now where I've dissed him and said I'm not bothered if he's bankrupt. You could be where IFL Umar is in life now. The levels, Ty. You could be where IFL Umar is in life now. Levels. Would you say I'm above him though? I've been checking out his posts, you know, on Instagram. IFL Umar, and he's not really getting that. You know what I mean? He put up a little picture. You know, I'm not watching him like that, like I'm obsessed with him, but I seen that he wasn't really getting like, when I was talking about him, he did get a bit of hype, man, but I'd say I'm doing better than him. I've got to work in 6 hours, you know. I started working at this fucking factory job, this dead-end job. I get like £600 a week. So you know that, on top of this, it's going to take me to the financial target that I'm aiming for, you know, at the end of 2023. But I might quit. I don't know if I can stick to them 12-hour shifts, man. This little Polish woman, this little supervisor was trying to talk shit to me, innit? She was like, "You're not listening to me." Because in my mind, I'm thinking about YouTube live streams, and I don't need to be in this fucking factory. So I don't need to listen to a little fucking Polish woman talking bullshit because she thinks she's got a bit of authority in a fucking factory. So I might give it another week and then just fuck it off, man. Yeah, man, vapes. It was James Helder, you know, who got me into vapes. He's got like a marijuana vape, James, and he gave me a bit of it and he's put me on a good level, so. George talks sports, shout outs on Fiverr. What do you mean? What are you saying? Why are you working a dead-end job when you have $1 million in the bank? That's what I mean. But what's the title of this video? Jermaine Pennant bankrupt with debt of £1 million. You can have money, but you can still go broke, man. You're missing the point. You're missing the point of the fucking story, man. Andrew Tate talks about it. You know, don't be fucking complacent, innit? Even if you have got money and pussy. Jermaine was probably complacent. I used to see him out all the time drinking and fucking around. I seen him in a club in Knots about 15 years ago. And there was a load of women hanging around him, you know, for sexual reasons, financial reasons, more like. And after the club, yeah, I was broke. I was on a bike. I rode a little bike to the club. Jermaine had a fancy car. He was drink driving. So when we finished in the club, I was riding my little bike back to the area that we're from. And Jermaine, he was drink driving and I like rode across the road, yeah. And Jermaine like clipped the back of my wheel, you know, on my bike. And I ended up unconscious, you know, on the floor with a big lump on my head. You know where I banged my head on the floor. And my back wheel was like buckled. So I had to like push the bike. You know, I was dizzy, I was just unconscious. I was like, had a big lump. I was pushing the bike home. Jermaine like drove all the way around and he came back to me and he was like, "You alright, yeah?" And he was like laughing. And I was laughing. But I used to see him going into this nice girl's house. She was 16. She was like the popular girl in school. And I was just fucking wanking. And I seen Jermaine getting a bit of nice pussy. That explains the big forehead. When was the last time you had some pussy? I think it was a blowjob in an alleyway. I think that was the last time. That was about 2 months ago. I was getting a blowjob, yeah, and then this black guy walked past, and he sells coke. So when she seen him, she like recognised him as being a coke dealer. So she like got up and just fucking went off with him, you know, in the car, and they drove off. You know, before I bust a nut. It was good while it lasted, but I didn't finish. And that's the main thing, innit? Busting a nut. that Jermaine. I was proud of him because he was like a little celebrity, and he was my cousin, so I was proud of him, innit? But the tables have turned, so I'm proud of myself now, you know what I mean? Alright then, so I got 2 voice messages, yeah? One of them's from the big donator, Hex Toys. I haven't listened to it yet. And James Helder was the other one. I haven't listened to that yet either, so I'll have a little listen, see what they got to say. Whatever, man, just chill out. Go and fucking look at the comments, man. Look at the chat. Hex Toys. What the fuck's going on, man? I don't think my internet's working, you know, on this phone. Fucking about.
Cousin said he won.
Shut your mouth. Why don't you move to London and collab with YouTubers? I know, that's what I mean, man. I'm in this little fucking dead end area in Sheffield in the fucking middle of nowhere. There's nothing going on here at all. It's fucking dead, man. There's a big fat woman who lives opposite me. A big fat woman. There's a fucking old woman who lives below me. There's a fucking old Asian woman who lives over there. There's another big fat ugly woman who lives there. It's just fucking horrible, man. So yeah, moving to London's a good shout, man. Tyan is a people's champion. A real man in a fake world. But being fake gets you fucking far, man. Look at Mr. Beast, KSI. Look at Andrew Tate. Rotting away in prison. In Romania. So what do? Do you sell out or not? Yeah, and there's a criminal house next door as well. So I'm just surrounded by scum, so I did like a test run on Omegle, you know, before I started the live to make sure I could get back on it. On Google Chrome, I'm banned. On Microsoft Edge browser, I'm not banned. But it's not connecting my mic and my fucking camera for some reason. It's saying there's an error, so I need to just fiddle about with it. Because it did that before, but I managed to like sort it out. But I just can't remember what I did. I should have prepared better. But I've just got back from Knots, innit? I had a nice time with my mum and my little fat nephew. I think my nephew's gay, you know. I think he's a bit zesty, man, because he kept showing me like photos of naked men. And I was saying, show me some pussy, man. Why are you showing me these fucking men every minute? But he was having none of it. Never sell out, bro. Keep your soul intact, your money on point, and the women interested in you. Yeah, that's a nice little comment, but it's not actually true, is it? Because you say never sell out. Keep your soul intact, your money on point. Yeah, but you could lose money, innit? Andrew Tate's already set, you know, from his webcam business. So he's already got money, but he had his, you know, accounts froze when he got cancelled. So you can lose money, man. You know, if you're too real and you're not willing to sell out. So I'm in a bit of a dilemma, man. I don't know what to do. So I like doing these live streams, you know, on YouTube. I like doing them, man. If I get a certain amount of money in this live, I'm not going to work in 7 hours to be spoken to like a fucking piece of shit by some Polish slag in a fucking factory, man. You know, when I was on Tinder, women always said that they like watching serial killer documentaries. Have you noticed that as well? You know, on these dating apps. They say that they're a single mum who likes serial killer documentaries. I've been watching a lot of videos, you know, from like feminists who say, I don't need a man. But they do need men, you know, to protect them from other men like Fred West. You know, if men didn't step in, you know, if men didn't put laws in place, you know, that protect women, women would be fucked. Imagine if you could just go out in public and just do whatever you wanted to do to women. You know what I mean? You're horny, I'm horny. We're producing sperm as we speak. So we're horny, aren't we? So if we could just do anything to women, you know what I mean? What would people do? So women need men to protect them from other men. Because men put the laws in place, you know, to protect women. It was men who created the laws, innit? Because if it was a woman, they wouldn't have banned women from voting and driving and getting jobs. So obviously men created laws, you know, that protect women. So I don't know why women talk this stupid shit, man, about they don't need a man. And I was thinking, like, what's the first thing they do? Like, you know, at the start of the day, their alarm goes off on their phone. You know, to wake them up, to go to work or to fucking take the kids to school. So the phone is the first thing. That's the first part of the day, you know, their alarm on their phone. So who created phones then? Who created iPhones? It was Steve Jobs, wasn't it? And Steve Wozniak. They created the iPhones, you know, and you know, the Android. That's owned by Google, innit? But Google was like created by a guy called Larry Page and Sergey Brin. So these women staring at their phones all day, you know what I mean? It's a device that was created by men. So I don't know why they talk shit, man. If there wasn't men around to protect them from other men, women would be getting fucking ravaged. You know, when we was at school, when we was like 10 years old, we'd all be in class here, sat down, and the teacher's talking to us. And we'd see Jermaine like walking from a distance, you know, kicking a football, you know, late for school. And we all said, don't talk to him. Just ignore him. You know, I think we was a bit jealous of his... Wrap it up, man. You've made your money. Nah, man. Keep it going. People enjoying the photos and the chat. Fred West looks like Sid James from Carry On. Big up Tyan. What's this about you used to eat the chewing gum left under the science tables? You know, back in the days, yeah, when we was in school, me and Jermaine, we was in class. And Jermaine, he got his dick out, innit? You know, for the girls in the class. And the girls, they were like really excited. This is before Pornhub, you know, and like camera phones and dick pics and all that. So women really appreciated seeing dicks now. I mean, back then, than they do now. Because they're bombarded, aren't they, with dick pics and stuff like that. So it's like the novelty's wearing off. So it's fucking it up, man. Do you reckon crypto will bounce back? Yeah, of course, man. It's been through this before. I think Bitcoin dropped from like 18 grand to about 3 grand. You know, and then it hit a new all-time high, you know, of $69,000. So I've been buying in. I've been buying low key. I've been accumulating crypto while it's cheap and it's on sale. What's all this about? Idaho murders, thoughts. What has happened in Idaho? What happened? Whatever, man. Whatever. It's just chilled, innit? It's a chilled vibe. I don't know if I'm going to go to work tomorrow in 6 hours. Do a 12-hour shift in a fucking factory. Thoughts on Prime. I know, them bottles have been selling, you know. I was reading about it today. I think a bottle sold for about $1,000. Obviously, KSI and Logan Paul, they've built up their brand, their popularity, so they can sell bottles of Prime for $1,000. But you know me trying to sell my action figure for $1,000. It's a bit too ambitious, isn't it? I think the price is a bit too high. Yes, Yankee Zulu. Thanks for the super chat, yeah? £2.59. What made you donate that amount? You know, that specific amount, £2.59. Why that specific amount? Wake up in Dharma's apartment. What do you do? I've been thinking about that, you know. But I won't end up in his apartment anyway. But saying that, I've gone back to men's apartments before. I went back to this man's apartment, yeah. And he told me that when he was about 8 years old, you know, his 16-year-old sister abused him, you know, sexually. You know, 'cause she was at that horny age when she started to get pubes and periods. So she took it out on her little brother, you know, and banged him. And he was crying, you know, when he was telling me that story about his 16-year-old sister abusing him sexually. He was crying, you know, on his bed. But I was actually jealous of him. Hold on a minute. I need to spray this little insect. I need to murder this fucking insect, man. Man's crawling about on my walls, man. Hold on a minute. Spray up this fucking thing. See that? Ant and cockroach killer. Yes, Jake Hobbs, thanks for the super chat, yeah? £8.99. We need to get... we need you to get Top G on a podcast. That's if he hopefully gets out. It will break the internet. You know what? One of his little mates added me on Facebook, innit? And he started liking all my posts. So that's a link. That's a good link. He's just on a podcast, you know, with Andrew Tate. This guy here, you see that guy at the bottom? The guy started adding me on Facebook, man. So this guy here on the right, yeah, this guy added me on Facebook, innit? Started liking all my posts. So he's mates with Andrew Tate. So, you know, if he likes my videos, do you think Andrew Tate watches these lives? That's true, you know. You know, my biggest buzz in life was winning a boxing match. It don't matter what woman I've fucked. The biggest buzz was winning a boxing match. You know, when the referee lifts your hand up like that and says you've won, it's such a nice feeling. When I used to lose, my mum would always like message me saying, how did you get on? And I'd have to say, oh, I lost, you know. And she was a bit disappointed. Genghis Khan used to go to countries and just fucking murder the men and just fucking bang the women. Yeah? How did Great Britain come about? You know, this little island. Did it get sort of like taken over by some Vikings, some warriors, you know, who just came over here, killed the men, got rid of them, and then there's only like women left over? You know what I mean? You know, women like that. Well, not them, but like just fucking white women. You go to a country, yeah, to take over that country, like Genghis Khan. You kill all the men, like him and Andrew Tate. Just say you get rid of them. There's only women left. What do you do? So women need men to protect them from other men. Johnny Nelson froze, you know, in a world title fight against Carlos de Leon. He kind of froze. You know, by his own admission, he froze. So it is a bit nerve-wracking getting in the ring. That's what I mean. I had a big brother. I used to share bunk bed with him. And I used to call him a fat bastard. And he'd get out of the bed and give me a beating. But toughen me up. Yeah, that's why I'm not one of these little pussies who are offended by people saying fucking the N-word. I'm alright with it, man. What kind of a question is that? This is what I mean about these women, man. They don't need to be good content creators, you know what I mean? This guy was just talking about the buzz of winning a fight and conquering different islands. Genghis Khan. You know what I mean? And she's asking about Cristiano Ronaldo, like just changing it up, like just chatting. It just shows, don't it? Women just need to look nice. You'd probably tune into those women's podcasts, you know, because they look decent. Even if they're not even saying anything interesting. She's talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. You got fucking Andrew Tate here. Why don't you ask about him? But that's what I'm saying, though. They was trying to have a go at a few little black Muslims, you know, for not wearing that little fruity rainbow fucking armband. They were trying to have a go at a minute, but then that's kind of opposing free speech, innit? Which is what these fruity fuckers are about. LGBT. They're all about freedom of speech and expression, aren't they? But then when a black Muslim says he's not wearing a little fruity rainbow fucking armband, you know, they want to kick off, don't they? Every time I've been arrested, it's been alcohol related. When I've knocked out women and men in the streets or drink driving, it's always been alcohol related. So, you know, Qatar, you can't drink there. So this guy's a Muslim, innit? He's called Tam Khan. And I think Andrew Tate converted to Islam. I'm not a Muslim, I'm not religious at all, but I think alcohol is fucking bad, man, but I do like it. It's like boxing as well, you know. Eddie Hearn was told to put a woman on every single one of his shows to tick the equality box, you know what I mean? Even though these women boxers are fucking garbage. It's like they've kind of infiltrated boxing as well to a degree and said to Eddie Hearn, you better put a fucking woman on every single one of your shows, man, to tick the pussy box and make it all equal. It's not for me, you know, but I'm going to try and get into it. I like this little story about Jermaine going bankrupt. So I'm going to try and look at other stories in football, innit, and try and cross over. Just get out of boxing. Boxing's dead, man. He's fucking dead, innit? It's just, come on, man. Is there any more Mike Tysons around who have that kind of intrigue, you know, where you watch him and you're like, shit. This guy said he wanted to uppercut someone, you know, in the nose and push their nose bone up into their brain. There's no Mike Tysons anymore in boxing, is there? They tried to call that Jeff Lacey the mini Mike Tyson, you know, and he got smashed up by Kawasaki. Who else did he try and call a mini Mike Tyson? I'll think about it. We do like fighting. You know, when there's a fight in town on a Saturday night, women are stood there staring. They love fighters, women. They love fucking Joshua. Someone was telling me, this Crip, he was talking on a channel called Vlad TV, and he said that, you know, the police, they used to like drop off a big barrel of guns, you know, in a ghetto, you know, so that these fucking Crips and Bloods can like take the guns and just shoot each other. So it was like intentional, you know, to try and fuck people up. You know, and divide black people so they don't unite and fucking... I'm not a black supremacist, but they're kind of doing it with men and women, aren't they? They're trying to get feminism going on. Fucking... You know those Muslim women, yeah, they put water in their fucking arse cracks, you know, when they fucking go for a shit. They really clean themselves out properly. They think they're going to burn in hell, you know, if they sleep around. So they think God's watching, innit? So they're probably more faithful. I'd like to find a nice white Muslim woman. Or Christian or something like that. Or Jew. It's off-putting, man. You know, when a woman's banged loads of men. That's why men like younger women, innit? Because they've gone through less dick. Tate repeats the same points too much. He's going to fall off this year. You say he's repeating the same thing, but there's still a lot of men out there, you know, who are losers, who are broke, who are watching porn, wanking. They can't get any pussy. So I don't think he will fall off unless he gets murdered or locked up. He was the most searched man on Google. So there's a lot of demand. So he's saying he's going to fall off, but I don't think he will. You missed my super chat, Tyan. What did you say? I think you're lying, man. I'm not going to scroll back because I think you're lying. What did you say? How do you feel motivated? How do you stay motivated? I feel depressed at Mo. Any tips? What do you do? Do you work? Do you work out? Did you go out? What did you do New Year's Eve? Did you go out and try and get some pussy, or did you just stay in wanking? They say porn's fucking up men as well, because it's kind of like, it's not natural, is it, to watch a porno and wank? So that's what Andrew Tate says, that they're pushing like Pornhub and stuff like that. OnlyFans, fucking Michelle Hall Phelps and Ebony Bridges. You know, to try and make men even more pathetic and fucking broken. So, I don't know, I think you have to get in the gym. You have to get your money on point. You know, step up, go out there, socialise instead of looking at people's Instagram highlights. Because that'll make you feel bad, innit? I fuck Instagram off, like, as far as clicking on everyone's stories and seeing what everyone's up to. Live your own life, innit? Because it's all highlight reels as well. I know this boxing trainer, yeah, and he had a boxer who had a fight coming up. And during the fight week, or the fight month, this trainer was talking about this fighter who's got a fight coming up. And he was really promoting him and putting videos of him, you know, on the pads, working out, looking all sharp. And then when the fight came, yeah, when it was fight night, I didn't watch the fight. I forgot about it, to be honest. But then, like, the next few days went by, and I thought, what this guy supposed to be fighting? How comes I hadn't heard anything from this fighter or this trainer? Did he fight or what? So I went on BoxRec to look, and he got stopped. And I thought, that's why the fucking trainer has conveniently gone quiet. You know, about his fighter getting fucked up. But you know, if his fighter would have won, he would have been like, yeah, I've trained this guy and he's won his fight. He boxed really well. So people highlight, you know, the successes, the positives, but they don't highlight the negatives, the losses. They try and conveniently keep that quiet, don't they? And that's what Instagram is, man. Would you bare knuckle? What? Would you bareback a brass G? No, come on, man. I thought he said, would you bare knuckle a brass G? And one time, yeah, I gave this woman a tenner, you know, for a blowjob, this whore. But I didn't finish because she was like rushing. And like she stopped in it and she said, oh, I'm gonna have to go, you know. This was like in a field at about 1 in the morning. And she didn't finish, or I didn't finish, or we both didn't finish. And she said, oh, I need to go, you know, it's taking too long. And she got up and she started walking off. And I thought, you know what, I might hit her, you know, and get back my tenner. Because I didn't get what I paid for, if you know what I mean. It's all about the finish, innit? You know, boxers who win on points, that's all well and good, but we want to see the finish, man. It's all about the finish. And I didn't finish on this fucking whore. So I was going to, when she walked off, I was going to hit her, you know, on the chin. And get back my tenner. That's a true story, you know. Because you can't really go to the police and say, oh, he fucking gave me £10. I gave him a blowjob and he hit me. Because the police will be like, well, why are you fucking doing that in the first place? It's illegal to be a whore. Instagram is no good for our brains. It's true, man. If you're looking at Andrew Tate getting out of Bugatti, and you're sat there wanking, just depressed, and you're not getting replies from women on dating apps. And I used to be on this dating app called Plenty of Fish, and sometimes I'd stream on there, you know, like this, and men would join my live stream and they'd say, oh yeah, I'm being ignored, you know, these fat single mums think they're better than me. I don't know what to do, but it's just obvious, isn't it? You have to get your money on point, man. So I'm going to do 12 hours in a factory in about 5 hours. If I decide to go, it's flexible. I don't have to turn up. Because I got money from other sources. You know, YouTube, Patreon, selling my little action figurines, selling my merch. Women like men who insult them. Because they say good guys come last. Men who insult women kind of show these women that they don't give a fuck about them. So they're not pedestalizing them. You know, like some of you fucking desperate men who like women's Instagram photos. You know Muhammad Ali? He was on Michael Parkinson money. And Michael Parkinson said to Ali, well, like, why are you going back into boxing, man? You're showing signs of brain damage. Why are you going back in there? Do you need the money? And Ali, he said, you always need money. You know, do fucking Rolls Royce stop making cars? You know, because they've made enough money. They keep it going, don't they? So you have to keep the money rolling in. You know, Mayweather fighting Dead G. Chris Eubank Sr. went bankrupt. Jermaine Pennant went bankrupt. I think Mike Tyson went bankrupt, but then he kind of like, he's turned it around, you know, with his little weed factory. $559 people watching, but how many are still awake?